All right, this video is going to be to my Canadian friends. You know who you are because we talk all the time. No, of course I'm not mad at you guys. You know why? Because all of the Canadian guys that I hang out with, and there are very, very many, I don't think a one of them in a million years would ever dream of booing a national anthem, America or otherwise. I mean, they could literally be playing against the Soviet Union if it still existed, and the Canadians that I know would not boo the national anthem. Why? Because respect. There's whether you like the country, whether you're mad at it right now because of the fact that you're starting to realize that, and I mean, this is kind of like I don't mean to smack you guys in the face, but the reality is America at any time can destroy the Canadian economy. I mean, just destroy it to the point that it will never ever recover. The country would immediately just go into a death spiral like Zimbabwe, and you would have people from Canada to Canada trying to flee into the United States. And that would not be a good idea right now since, ICE would round you guys up and send your asses right back to the hellhole that you created by letting your so-called new Canadians constantly vote for leftist parties, right? And the other thing, I know that my Canadian friends probably wouldn't disagree with the fact that for the last, I don't know, 5 decades or so, certain Canadians, especially the Canadians of European descent, have forcibly, by their school system, etc., been made to feel ashamed of the fact that they created that nation in a space where had previously only existed wandering tribes of Neolithic people who didn't even, half of them have a written language or a concept of science or anything. Now, if you're a native listening to this, or as they say, First Nation Canadian, look it up. It's true. If it weren't for the European Canadians coming in there, you'd already be a part of the United States. So, there's that. And also, anyone in Canada who thinks the U.S. couldn't conquer you guys, you're living a dream. You think you can vanish into the woods and no one could find you when half of our army is made up of hillbillies like me that literally grew up in the woods? Yeah, no. You're not going to run to the wilderness and hide. There's going to be a unit of rangers or mountain infantry or something. They're going to hunt you down and put you down like a dog if you tried to resist. So basically, not to be an asshole, and again, I love my Canadian friends. I do. But your nation exists because we allow it. That's it. And don't take that bad. Half of the world exists because we allow it. So it's not like it makes you weak or shitheads or anything like that. It's just the reality. And to boo our national anthem at a hockey game, that is just so, like I said, my bros, like Bear, the Gen X GM, and Max Bovin, I still consider him a bro, even though I don't think he cares for me that much. But until he tells me he hates me, he's still bro. Uh, you know, um, the dungeon cleric, um, dungeon minister, Sean, he does the recaps of all the games he runs as the wizard whose name I can never remember because it's a combination of like 5 names. He also is Asirak the Lich. I mean, that guy's cool. Rick is cool, even though I haven't talked to him in a long time. I don't know if that's because he decided he doesn't like. Again, all of these guys that I used to talk to all the time, and then all of a sudden they just vanished. I guess I could assume it's because they dislike me, but I would prefer assume that they just got shit going on, and it has nothing to do with any particular emotional feelings they might have towards me specifically, right? The point is, there are a lot of Canadians that I know that I've gamed with, talked with daily almost. And while it's fun to kind of make fun of them because they got what they deserved, you know, there is that quotient that guy does on YouTube. Look it up. It's called the F around and find out quotient. And the fact of the matter is, the crowd at that game, and I believe Montreal, decided to F around. And as a result, to the level that they effed around, they found out an equal amount. And by found out, I mean their team got the shit beat out of them physically. The shit beat out of them. Some of those freaking board checks were like, oh my God, I don't know how that guy's going to walk, but hopefully no one was permanently injured. I mean, you had one American get in a fist fight and take his mouth guard out. That's crazy. That's psychotic. Dude literally spits his mouth guard out while he's throwing blows with some, Canadian dude. And then he like face plants that dude. So, it's all good. Maybe the Canadians win next game because when they come to America, hopefully, geez, dear God, please, Americans, don't boo the Canadian anthem. They're like our little brothers. Don't disrespect them like that and make them mad, because if we disrespect them and make them mad, then maybe they might win the game and be badasses. Please, dear God, Americans, be classy, right? The Canadians, they weren't classy last night. They learned, you got to keep it classy, right? So that's the video, man. I mean, booing somebody's national anthem. It's like most people know that I kind of despise England because they have allowed themselves to just become the worst, especially when at one time they were like the best. And I still wouldn't boo the British national anthem. I mean, you show respect, and especially America. When you see that red, white, and blue striped flag flying, and you hear, "Oh, say, can you see," being sang by a military guy who I believe was Canadian, might have been a member of the Canadian Air Force or whatever, their Air Corps or whatever they call it. I think, I'm not sure. But regardless, you're going to boo a military guy singing the national anthem of the nation that's supposed to be your strongest partner and whom you 100% rely on for your defense. Because if it weren't for us being right next to you, you would be completely at the mercy of any other country on the planet that decided, what'd be nice? Let's just go ahead and invade Canada. It's not like England can do anything about it. They barely got an army either. So you get to live north of us, profit off of trade with us hugely compared to the amount we profit off of trade with you. You get free military protection against the world. Bring it anybody. Nobody's invading Canada without the U.S. going buck wild, right? And then you boo our national anthem, which is about bombs bursting in air and shit like that. It's like, do they not teach you basic things in Canadian school? It's like when you were going to Canadian school, whoever you are, did they not tell you that the United States is a nation founded on war, that it's probably the thing we're best at when we really put our minds to it. Even every war we've lost, we've always killed millions more of people compared to what we lost. You know what I mean? Even like wars like Vietnam, where we withdrew, we lost a couple 100,000 men. We killed like 2 million of them. And Iraq, same thing. Afghanistan, same thing. So, not that that has anything to do with anything with Canada. We're never going to invade you. If America and Canada ever decide to merge into one country, it'll be because the Canadians begged for it to happen, because they were sick and tired of being ran by your crazies. And they decided they wanted to be a member of a country, which, to be fair, we got our own crazies. We got our own crazies, but at least we also have a functioning economy, and, you know, our money's worth something, and the rest of the world, whether they like us or not, are afraid of us. Like the Europeans talking all that shit about JD Vance speech. The thing of it is he didn't lie about anything. Everything he said was true. Yeah, they locked a guy up for praying silently near an abortion clinic. So why should we as Americans want to defend them from anybody? I mean, who are we supposed to be defending them from anyway? Soviet Union died 30 years ago, 40. So it's like, who are we defending Europe from? Why are we spending so much money defending a nation, state, thing, whatever the EU is, and the UK, when they don't accept basic human rights, like the right to post spicy memes if you want to, or the right to talk about the fact that yet another Muslim immigrant committed a mass murder crime, you know, because the Germans are apparently making it where you're not allowed to talk about the terrorist attack that happened the other day. So, you know, why should we help these countries? I mean, these are the countries that want to call everyone else fascist while themselves being incredibly fascist. So, whatever. But now back to Canada. Canada, we love you. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Come on. You know, Trump was joking. You know, he was joking. He has no intentions of taking you over and making you a state. That's just not actually a real thing. If it were going to happen, let me assure you, it would have happened a long time ago. A long time ago. It's not going to happen. It's not worth our time. You know, you guys are honestly, if we made you a state, you would be more problems than it's worth. It would basically be like, hey, let's make Canada a state so that we can have an entire northern population above us that are basically just welfare dependents and shit. We don't need that. We've got California for that. So in the future, not just California or Canadians, but everyone in the world, don't disrespect other countries' national anthems. No matter how you feel about it, don't do it. It's just, as I keep saying, it's low, it's crass, it's disrespectful. There's no reason in hell why you would ever want to do something like that. So just don't. And with that, I will end this video. Peace and love to my American brothers. Peace and love to my Canadian brothers. Guys, I know your country's crazy, but get a handle on it, okay? We're not your enemies. Trump's just trolling you. Stop being Karens, a whole fucking country of Karens that are taking Trump's trolls seriously, okay? And with that, I salute you.